going on, fellow A-Plusters? It is I, your Morphinominal host, Adam Perez, back once again with another Ultraman trigger review as we're about to go ahead and get into episode number 15 titled Operation Dragon, guys. Another fantastic episode. Trying to get these reviews to you semi-early. The plan is to at least get these to you by the end of the weekend. I know you guys have certainly been patient. My past couple of episodes, especially starting with the Detective Marlu, came a little bit late, but I'm trying to get back on top of my game, guys, because Ultraman Trigger does not wait for anybody. The momentum continues to pick up. We wind up getting some great pacing after that Detective Marluru episode, and here we are in episode 15, getting the opportunity to see the Nursedessi finally turned into its battle mode. I knew it from the moment I saw it. I said, this thing's gonna turn into a mecha. Like, there's so much more to this ship when you really look at it. So I'm so glad that we got the opportunity to see the battle mode here. They teased it to us in the previous episode, and now we have it. The idea that Akito has plans to absorb the energy of the Absolutians and transfer it into the Nursedessi to go ahead and let it just a level up, if you will, to its next evolution, and that is in fact the battle mode in here, inspired clearly by the saucer dragon that we get to see showcased in a cool flashback, I thought, with Marluru, getting the opportunity to see how Marluru and Akito really maybe began their friendship and their partnership when it comes to working on Gut Select. So I thought it was pretty cool. A little side mention here that Marluru really kind of gave them the idea and the concept and the pieces to certainly put this together, and Akito, being the genius that he is, manages to have another mode available to the Nursedessi, and it lived up to all my expectations, if I could be honest with you. One of the things that I mentioned is that one of my favorite Zords from Power Rangers or Super Sentai is the Red Dragon Thunder Zord, you know, like the serpent looking dragon. So the fact that it wind up looking just like that in here, with the incredible special effects that it wind up providing, I absolutely loved it. We have Akito's plan. He has plans to go ahead and use the TPU cosmic ray satellite to go ahead and drain the powers from the Absolutians. You know, I got to give credit to the show where credit's due, in the sense that this was actually a pretty brilliant plan, and just the execution of everybody knowing what their roles are, and pulling it off to perfection in here. The idea, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is that they were going to transmit Ultraman Trigger's energy wave so that the Absolutions pick it up. It's only going to be a decoy, so when the Absolutions arrive thinking that it's Ultraman Trigger, this is when they certainly strike to go ahead and absorb the Absolution powers to then go ahead and power up the Nursedessi. So I thought it was a great plan by the captain. I really appreciate the smarts that this show certainly offers. The fact alone that even regardless, without Ultraman around, or even, you know, trying to talk to Ultraman like, hey, we have a plan, the fact that the Gut Select team literally is trying to go ahead and take down an Absolution by themselves, I think is ballsy. And again, I think it continues to show just how great this certainly team really works together. So I absolutely love it. Just really having no regards, having a brilliant plan, executing it to perfection. I mean, granted, they probably are pretty lucky that they had the Giants of Darkness certainly come in and definitely help them, because I'm pretty sure the Absolution, if he wanted to, in Divalo, could have probably just destroyed them in a heartbeat. I mean, he does do the burning fist, which I'm actually surprised doesn't like explode the entire building and disintegrate any human on top of the roof. I'm assuming, if anything, maybe the power transfer that was taking place kind of blocked it, maybe like created its own energy field or something like that to kind of save their ass a little bit. I mean, they did certainly get pushed back, but if it knocks Ultraman Trigger off his ass, I'm definitely expecting that building to explode, you know what I mean? But brilliant plan otherwise, and the fact that they took this mission on by themselves, incredible. And then when you do see it transform into the battle mode, just how it unravels itself. I guess I never realized just how wound up tight that it certainly was. So for it to completely unravel and then have the legs magnetically move all the way to the front, gorgeous. absolutely gorgeous. And if you thought it looked gorgeous, the firepower also of all the lasers and the missiles coming all at once, again, it gives me like Robotech slash Macross vibes, honestly, whenever I watch it. So I thought just the revelation alone of the battle mode was well worth the wait in this episode alone, and it really led to incredible action in this episode. Just effing incredible, if you ask me. Getting the opportunity to see like a triple team up on Divalo was pretty incredible to watch. Getting Ribut into the action, an Ultraman trigger, or I should say a glitter trigger eternity Ultraman trigger form fully realized and things like that, along with the Nursedessi battle mode. That was just a beautiful shot of getting an opportunity to see all of them together to go ahead and take out the monster here this week. And then even when we do get, or the monster in Divalo this week, and even getting an opportunity to see the barrage of the missiles that come out and how they're landing on Divalo the entire time. Incredible stuff. If I did have like an aspect of the episode though that kind of bummed me out or kind of took me out a little bit, it's the fact that Kengo, when he is in his glitter trigger eternity form, and he's using that lance or the weapon that he has, the constant like poses and the moving of the dial that he's got to do, I literally felt like I was watching a toy commercial with Kengo with all the different poses and powers that he utilized. I mean, that's all that he was using. I mean, cool, you know, cool power-ups and cool maneuvers, certainly, don't get me wrong, but it definitely felt like I was watching a toy commercial, kind of thinking to myself, all right, when's the release date for this? I would love to pick one up, sort of thing. When's the toy come out kind of mindset, you know? But so it felt like it dragged on a little bit. I'm just thinking to myself, do we really have to use all these powers? But then when I realized, look, it is the Absolutians, right? They seemingly almost seem to be impenetrable or invincible, so you definitely have to kind of go all out, and that they certainly did. But a little bit of a bummer here that when you think that they destroy them, that apparently the Absolutians have something called an absolute heart that pretty much just revives them. So I guess you gotta defeat the physical form and somehow defeat the heart as well inside. But I'm assuming this ass whipping that Divalo got is now maybe pushing him to the side. It seems as though they clearly have another mission. He says going to the land of the light. So I'm assuming there's another pickup point out of this particular episode that will lead into something significantly bigger that I think you guys mentioned in the comments section as of last week. So it feels like the Absolutians, for at least for Divalo, after getting that ass kicked, he's like, you know what, maybe I'll be back another time, guys. We'll play again some other time. And he's definitely gone out of the way, because it looks like we probably have made room for another villain here to certainly happen by next week's episode, and we'll definitely get to that here in just a little bit. But yeah, man, the Nursedessi battle mode, incredible, leading into some fantastic action. They never disappoint when it comes to that in Ultraman Trigger. Where they also don't disappoint when it comes to this show is the true heart of these characters. Getting the opportunity to see Kengo and Ribut together in here did not disappoint. I had a really good time with the Ultraman Z crossover that we wind up having, getting to see what it certainly did for Kengo as a character, and really hoping that the same would certainly happen when it comes to Ribut in here. So the fact that we do immediately get to see him trying to train Kengo and understand how to harness maybe the destiny and the weight of that comes onto your shoulders, sort of thing. I love that he's really that person to get his mind right. So a little bit interesting in regards to the training sessions, the dancing, the process of clearing one's head out, sort of thing, right? But it definitely got the job done, so I really can't complain that much. As we do get to see, they eventually get the dance routine down after a few tries. Clearly their head is in a very great space, right? Mind space. Kengo clearly isn't thinking about too much stuff. He seems like he's back to the old Kengo, if you will. This is exactly what Ribut needed in order to truly put him under and make Kengo go a little bit deeper into his mind. And this is where I really love the great storytelling that we have here, because this is a process of getting the opportunity to see all these characters finally accepting what their destiny is, right? Putting Kengo under, having Ribut even letting you to know this is where you come in. You know, you're as invested in this as he certainly is. You clearly have some things on your mind too. Kengo needs somebody to help guide him back, and you're the only one that can do that. And I love the scene here because it feels very reminiscent of Kengo's time 30 million years ago with Yuzari. And to kind of see those mirror images, the idea of Yuna, you know, holding on to Kengo's head while he's trying to recover, same the way that Yuzari certainly did 30 million years ago, to kind of see that it just feels very poetic as how everything has really come full circle to the point to where Yuna understands that she's not only needed, but this is really her destiny and really where her life is certainly going to take her. And for me, especially when it comes to Yuna, to see that acceptance, I think is a really big key moment for that character, just based off of how afraid she certainly was. You know, the big learning curve that she had to go through in regards to learning who Yuzari was, understanding the power that's sort of within her. So I just thought it was a really great moment for her to accept who she is and to help Kengo along with his particular journey also. And again, when it comes to, you know, just Kengo, one, we did get the answer to what the last half of Yuzari's sentence was. You are the light, and we were wondering what that was. A part of me thought maybe it was darkness, but it actually comes to turn out to be human also, which I thought was a really great reminder in here for Kengo to realize that while yes, you are the light and you have this massive destiny, you cannot forget who you are and where you came from, right? That you are a human, that you were birthed by somebody, you've got a mom, right? You felt and experienced emotions and feelings and things like that, right? Like you've had dreams as a human. And so I'm glad that he gets that reminder in here that there's got to be a balance, right? That you have to kind of understand that while yes, there is a huge responsibility, you too have to sort of live your life and remembering the dreams that you certainly had. And one of Kengo's dreams has always been to simply make people smile, right? Or give people hope, if you want to read it that way, but literally put a smile on people's faces, sort of thing. And that kind of simplistic mindset can probably get really lost when you've been thrown into the ringer, right? And have sort of had your life and world sort of turned upside down, you know, being thrusted into 30 million years ago, understanding your true importance, that you literally set in motion the events that are certainly taking place, and having that big revelation plopped into your life. I love the fact that the showrunners and writers are smart enough to show the changes in Kengo, because that's the one thing that we talked about, right? Was when Kengo learns this stuff, will he come out acting different? Will he be a different man? And for a few episodes, you can definitely tell that Kengo felt like a bigger responsibility. He took himself a little bit more serious, but maybe too serious, right? And so you need that character arc to now go back to seeing Kengo come full circle, remembering his true intentions and his dream, remembering that he's not just this important light, but he's also a human who has lived this very long life, and you know, he's got things of his own that he wants to do. So to be able to have that balance and understanding, don't let that weight hold you down, sort of thing. I thought it was just a great character arc to see him learn that valuable lesson and then wind up changing to a much more uplifted personality, because now it feels like Kengo of old with that great positive outlook, but somebody now that is a lot more reserved in the sense that he understands everything that comes with his powers. And to be in that mindset, this is like the perfect place for Kengo to be. And so I've really have enjoyed his arc, and not just Kengo's, but Yuna's also. And I really appreciate the smarts of the showrunners to certainly just showcase the ups and downs, because for me, it's really all about that better understanding, knowing your purpose, and the acceptance of what they sort of have to do. And so I think this really puts Yuna and Kengo in a really great place, especially, you know, as we're getting closer to the 20 episode mark of this season, because I think these are only 25 episode seasons, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I'm absolutely loving it in here. Quick honorable mention, when we talked a little bit about the Nursedessi battle mode, I also meant to go ahead and mention, when we did mention the Giants of Darkness, honorable mention goes out to Carmera in her human form. I mean, if you're going to take a human form, you might as well look good doing it. You know what I'm saying? Carmera looking incredible. What a great form for her to certainly take. I wasn't quite sure if they would certainly go that route. I mean, we've seen the Giants of Darkness literally just go down to human size and talk to some of our characters. I didn't even know that that was an option for them to certainly do. So now that Carmera can maybe sneak in and out of situations, I hope that she continues to use that human form just so that we can see her. I don't want to say infiltrate, but maybe get a little bit closer. I mean, goodness, she literally walked onto the same roof that Gut Select was certainly on when she revealed herself to be Carmera under that human form. But I thought it was pretty cool for her to at least get involved, right? She's the one that needs that revenge. She's the one that's personally pissed off at Kengo now for taking not only the Eternity Core, but the love of her life away from her, right? So the fact that she wants the Absolutians as far away as possible, I thought was absolutely incredible and super smart for her to definitely go ahead and give the Gut Select team the time that they needed to go ahead and take care of the Absolutians here. So brilliant plan. Again, I think this show is just super smart in regards to how they handle a lot of these characters. And then last but not least, guys, Ignis with the transformation at the end, utilizing the spark lens, being aware and overhearing Ribut when he went ahead and actually utilized a spark lens and a change key himself, learning that Ultraman have that ability to transfer their powers into any mechanism that gives them the ability to transform back into their selves. So we get to see him Ribut also utilize the Ultraman transformation, which I thought was pretty cool in here. Also reminded me very much of like Ultraman Z almost, and getting to see how he transforms and things like that with the spark lens. So I really appreciated seeing that. But Ignis overheard, and he wind up channeling that dark energy into his own dark spark lens, which is unbelievable to certainly see. It's brand new now. It carries his ability, and he spent no time in wasting in regards to transforming and seeing what this power is like firsthand as he winds up growing into Trigger Dark at the end of this episode. So it's about to be on, but I have no idea what this means. I think from the preview alone, I thought I saw him facing off against Trigger, and then even Hoodrum himself. So I know he's got a bone to pick with Hoodrum. But I'm kind of curious as to how in control Ignis is of this, or is Ultraman Trigger really taking over at first? You know what I'm saying? I want to see what the balance of power is certainly like, but Ignis has officially become a main player in this instead of just a supporting character at this point with the abilities and powers that he certainly has now. But I was not expecting at the end of this episode, so definitely a holy-ish moment for me, if you know what I mean. But guys, listen, at the end of the day, these are just simply my A+ opinions. I want to know yours though. What did you guys think of episode number 15, Operation Dragon? Let me know your thoughts on this week's episode of Ultraman Trigger, and if there's anything that I missed, character moments, storyline details you guys want to further discuss, let your thoughts be known in the comment section box below after this video, and we'll definitely continue that discussion until next week's episode. But until then, guys, do me a big favor, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and keep it A+. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. If you enjoy our content and want to be a part of helping our channel grow, become a patron supporter. We have affordable tiers to choose from that offer a variety of exclusive and early access content, from audio files for all of our shows for you to enjoy on the road, access to our Discord community, and plenty of reactions, reviews, character breakdowns, and more. Check us out at patreon.com/A+opinions, and as always, remember, like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so anytime we drop a brand new video, you will be notified.